Hi, YouTube, and welcome back to A Life of Compounding Interest. There's a small little excerpt that worked its way into my book. It wasn't planned, but I'm so glad that I stumbled upon it and expanded on the idea a little bit. And it's really stuck with me just going through that thought experiment. And it revolves around the phrase, enough is enough. Most of the time, if we're going to say that phrase, enough is enough, we're fed up. We're at the end of our rope. As a parent, I can tell you when the kids are arguing or just acting up and, really pushing the boundaries, enough is a very accurate way to explain exactly how I feel and where I want things to go from there. Enough is enough. I'm done. I've had all I can take of this. But if we break down the words and really look at that phrase, enough is enough, it accurately describes how we should look at diminishing returns, where we put our efforts. Because when things are going our way, we have this tendency to double down and keep going, even if it's not in our best interest. I can remember the first example that I heard of the economic term diminishing returns went a little bit like this. If you are starving and you really want a cheeseburger and you walk into a restaurant and it's $5 for your cheeseburger, you pay for it, you eat it, you're full, and it was exactly what you wanted. You really balance out your value there. You got what you paid for. You don't feel like you were charged too much. You got maximum value out of that cheeseburger. But if they were running a special that was buy one, get one half off, and you go with that, if you're already full after the first hamburger and you decide that you're going to go ahead and eat it because now you have sunk costs because you paid for this thing, if you eat it and it makes you sick, you didn't get value out of it. You got negative value out of it. Even if you don't get sick, you were already full. And so eating that second hamburger is not delivering the same amount of value that the first one did when you were really hungry and craving that. It's diminishing returns, meaning the more that you get, the less value that you get. So enough is enough really leans into this. And we don't think about the term enough too much in daily life. We don't think that we have enough. That's why we always want more. When things are going our way, we want more of those good things coming our way. And sometimes that means continuing effort long after it's actually needed. Sometimes it's taking on a little bit more than we really want to, working harder than we have to for less returns. Think overtime. Overtime is time and a half. So that's great. But the hours that go into it, I have a background in safety, and I can tell you that, especially in blue collar and slightly dangerous work, the risk of injury goes up after you've been on the clock a certain amount of time. That overtime turns out to cost more than it's giving you. And so when I'm thinking enough is enough, I've started looking at it as a happy place. It's not I'm angry and I don't want any more of this. It's I have enough. And in fact, that is enough. I don't need any more. I don't want to put any more resources to accumulating more than I actually want and need. Enough is simply enough. And as you're thinking about that, do you know what enough actually is? Do you know how much is enough? How much money do you need to live the happy, successful feeling life? How much money do you need to make sure your basics are covered? How much is enough for your retirement? Because a lot of people have a problem of it never quite feels enough. And so if enough is enough, it only stands to reason that we should set our expectations at enough and not pursue that excess. There's a lot of stuff that we can do with our excess resources, our excess energy, rather than putting it towards something with diminishing returns. You can always make more money. You really can. You can work longer. You can save more. You can take a job that you don't like that pays more. But when is enough actually enough? So I encourage everybody, because I can tell you, for me, it changed whenever I actually set an anchor of what is enough. When do I know I've made it and I can slow down? Whenever I got to that point, things got a little easier. Decisions got easier to make. How I spent my time and my energy actually got more productive because I was putting it towards things that I wanted more of. So when I work enough, I want to spend more time with my family, because even that has its own diminishing returns, as anyone who is a stay-at-home parent or somebody who's a homemaker can tell you. Sometimes spending time with your family, you can have enough of that as well. It's all about finding that balance and where is that enough, and actually living into the expectations that you set for yourself. So I know that, like normal on this channel at this day and age, it's a bit of a rant and a rave, but I would encourage you, find your enough. What is enough? What is your retirement goal that if you don't exceed it, it's okay? What is the budget on a monthly basis that gives you what you need and you don't have to work extra to have the basics and have a happy life, and you can put your effort into something else? When do you actually flip that off switch? I've had enough. I don't need any more. I don't care if I could get more. I've got enough. Think about it. Leave me a comment below if this is something that you've thought about, or maybe you disagree. Maybe you think you could always handle a little bit more. Maybe there are certain things that you want more of. I think everybody probably feels that more money is a good thing overall, right? But where is enough? And are you actually getting enough today? It's just food for thought, but thank you for joining us if you stuck around this long. I really hope that you are taking care of yourself and that you will join us in a future video. Cheers.